Hi everyone. Really a nice, beautiful day today, and Pacifica is here right at the entrance here to greet us. They're having a some kind of promotional day where they're giving out free something, food and things. My name is David Monkawa, and I've been with this issue for quite some time. And I just wanted to check with all of you. Have you ever seen that TV segment where that 84-year-old Thai man, Mr. Visha Ratanaputki, he gets beaten viciously and knocked on the ground. I keep looking at that same thing that comes over and over. It's awful, horrible. In my mind, I don't care what nationality they are. If you're like a street hoodlum, kicking and hurting and eventually killing old people, you know, you got to be put away. But what about when corporations do something like that? Like Pacifica. And I know some of you are going to say, hey, you can't really compare Pacifica with street crime. It's not the same thing. That's a little bit too extreme, you know what I'm saying? But let's take a look at the results. Now you have this one gentleman, he died, he's 84, right? Victim of violence. Now who knows what the perpetrator thought? Most likely that, well, you know, old people, they're not going to fight back. And then on top of that, this dude's Asians. Asians don't fight back. So maybe that's what he thought. Who knows? No one's going to actually ever know. But let's take a look what's in Pacifica's mind. Now these people are not fools. They know about gerontology. They know about old folks. So they know that when you move old folks, when you're 65, 70, 80, they don't do too good. Scientific evidence exists. About 30% of them ain't gonna make it in the first year, and unfortunately in the first 3 months I won't make it. These are studies that have been done since 1963. So we know that Pacifica knows that the consequence of their action would be very unfortunate. Yet they're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna do it anyway. That's what makes this so insidious. They know that by feet, they're going to make more profit off of apartments and condos than they are going to make out of a nursing home. So again, you might say that I'm a little extreme or something, you know, you can't compare street crime with Pacifica. Well, let's look at the results. What happens if of the 60 people or 50 people that are in the ICF right now at Boyle Heights, the intermediate care facility? What if a third of them were to not make it? Then what then is the difference between street criminals and Pacifica in terms of the actual results?
That's right. That's right. That's right, brother. Yeah.
How in the hell did Pacifica even become a COVID facility?
Yeah.
You can look on the website yourself, and they got 269 complaints in the last 2 years. 269 in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Out of that, about 60 of them are fairly serious, and about 9 of them are extremely serious, serious enough to cause something called an enforcement order to occur. Yet they still got COVID license designation. From the best of our research, each COVID patient is bringing in something like $635 a day per patient. Now you compare that with a Medicare, a poor person, they only reimburse $200. So naturally these nursing homes and hospitals, they're going to say, well, you know what, you got Medicare, I'm sorry, we ain't got no room for you today. Now, what kind of people are they trying to eliminate? What kind of people are they trying to deny their last rights on this earth? These are people, folks in their 90s and 100s. These are folks who are wives of gardeners and gardeners who helped rebuild the Japanese-American economy after World War II. These are the wives and produce people, produce men who worked at the flower market and all these other places who helped agriculturally help California become an agricultural giant in the United States and internationally. These are folks who became real estate agents who helped integrate the West Side, Culver City, and all these other areas where we were not allowed to live, along with our African American brothers and sisters, and along with Chicanos and Mexicanos. These are all the people that they're trying to eliminate. And yes, some even were in concentration camps in 1942. And as Francine Mai will tell you later, you know, in the early part of their lives, they had to be evicted and go into concentration camps. And now, we ain't gonna let them go and get evicted again in the remaining part of their lives. Are we gonna do that, folks? No, no, we're not gonna do that. And it's such an irony, because, you know, here, Japanese Americans, you know, all immigrants, people from Latin countries and everywhere, we need bilingual, bicultural care. And, you know, they sell it as an amenity. In these private hospitals, you can get anything you want if you got the money. But since when is language an amenity? It's an option. Like you're buying some chocolates or a jacuzzi in a hotel or something, you know what I'm saying? These are lifelines. These are lifelines for our people. And the reason we had to get them in the first place, in the first pandemic in 1918, many of us died. That's right. Anti-Asian leagues were being formed. Alien land laws are being passed. Anti-miscegenation laws are being harshly enforced, mainly upon the males. But anti-miscegenation laws and all this stuff was happening. Not a doctor, no hospitals would serve any Chinese, Japanese, or any of these Asians. Similar with African Americans and Latinx people, same thing. That's why so many of us died. That's why so many of us had to fork up money in these tanomoshis, these you know, when you can't get no banking, you know what I mean? These tanomoshis, they call it. Collective funds, mutual aid, whatever you want to call it, serve the people. So anyway, we got these, and we built these hospitals like this one up here. And Lincoln Heights and Boyle Heights, the only reason why people built them there is because those homes, they didn't have those racial covenants in the deeds. That's the only reason why Japanese could move out Boyle Heights. They didn't have the deeds, the racial covenants. And these racial covenants forbade the seller from selling to non-whites. That's why Lincoln Heights is also the home of some of these hospitals. And wouldn't you know, 100 years later, under another pandemic, under more racism, the last vestiges of Japanese American bilingual bicultural care might disappear with that next pandemic, with our current pandemic. So again, we're not going to let that happen either. We're going to continue to fight, and we want definite commitments from Pacifica. We want a commitment from them that there ain't going to be no evictions, no transfer, no persuasion of evictions or anything like that in the middle of this pandemic, period. And we don't want you to transfer people in the ICF to this building right over here behind me. 113 people have died between here and South Bay Kei-Ai. The absolute worst and deadliest facility in all of California. Let me repeat, the absolute worst death tolls in all of California. We want complete transparency for all the families. Complete transparency, no double talk. And we want the county, we call on the county to investigate Pacifica, to investigate this nursing home. There's no way they should have got COVID designation. It should be revoked. It should be revoked. So join me as I close with a favorite chant of mine. Pacifica, you can't hide. Don't kick out grandma to the COVID outside. You say it with me? Pacifica, you can't hide. Don't kick out grandma to the COVID outside. Pacifica, you can't hide. Don't kick out grandma to the COVID outside. Thank you very much.